Hey y'all, and welcome to Down Home Dirt, the show where we dive deep into the journey of entrepreneurship with those who took the plunge and all the ups and downs that come with it. And today we are recording at the Design House at 404 East Main Street here in downtown Clayton. And we have Victoria Johnston and owner Michael Strauss with us. Victoria Johnston, welcome and thank you. You are with TANG.
Yes.
Right, so guys, I wanted to have you come on here today because I'm really excited. We talk a lot about TANG on the podcast, and I wanted to let people know what it stands for because I get asked that a lot, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should say something about that. So tell us what it is about.
So Triangle Area Networking Group is what it stands for, Johnston County Chapter. So our purpose and mission is to build business locally in Clayton with local businesses homegrown here. So we meet every Tuesday. Do you want me to go into that?
Oh, yeah.
So we meet every Tuesday at 8 a.m. at Manning's, right beside the beautiful Design House, unless there's a holiday, of course. But basically the purpose is a referral-based group. So we consistently send business every week to each other.
And I actually started out with TANG in 2020, I believe it was, and fortunately for me, I had to quit because I couldn't take on any more referrals, and it has been 2 years since then, and I still can't. Exactly. And they build your business because they want to, not because they have to.
Yes, and that's the key. And one thing I think that's really important is to talk about, the start of TANG, and I know Victoria is very humble about this, but I and many other members are very proud of this because to start anything from nothing, whether it's a networking group or a business, is very difficult, as we all know as serial entrepreneurs. But one thing that's been great is Victoria started this at the back table of Boulevard West in downtown Clayton back in 2019.
The old location.
Old location, that's right. And basically started it with 2 people, I think, and has grown it into what we see today, which is something really amazing that she's done such a wonderful thing to give back to not only businesses, but giving them a great platform in which to thrive.
We consistently meet, even back then, it was every Tuesday at 8 a.m. in the Clayton Chamber of Commerce, which Michael's so in tune with, was a huge resource for us. That's where we met a lot of our professionals, and we just started inviting them slowly to that back table. We outgrew that, and then what used to be One on Main, we outgrew that right before COVID. And then even through COVID, we met every Tuesday at 8 a.m. on Zoom. And while a lot of businesses were struggling financially and every other regard because of the restrictions, we were able to grow all of our members and their businesses that stayed consistent with us.
And I loved during that time, you were, as you always say, pleasantly persistent, aka pushy, and that's
AKA
okay.
pushy is
okay.
fine.
But Victoria reached out to me and asked me to join this TANG gang.
She was a notorious member, or
yes.
no, not member, visitor.
Yes. And I checked it out, loved the group, loved what I saw, but I'm like, what can this do for me, right? And obviously, after being involved with TANG for so many years, I've seen the power of what it can do, not only to grow business, but also grow our involvement within the community. But one thing with Victoria being so pleasantly persistent, I kept coming to visit, even all through COVID. And then she's like, hey, how about you join? And I'm like, I'm pushing it off. But long story short, I'm so glad that I joined. And the next thing you know, about a year later, hey, why don't you come serve on our board and be a little more involved in the group? And I'm like, okay. But like I said, obviously glad I did, because now I get to be more involved with the group and see all these great businesses come in. Yeah.
Because your mission has been to build business, but so community driven. That's what drew me to you, and the benefit that you could also bring to TANG is what you bring to the community. Because Michael, he is so community driven, and I'm just like, Michael, if you just join us, it fits so perfect into your brand, what you're trying to build into the community. And what he did as our community outreach share, our small town famous autism event, and he spearheaded that, and so many others. We have the Night in Her Shoes coming up in October. We'll talk more about that. But yeah, it just fit right into what you were already building, and that's where you see the small town conglomerate that TANG is today.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm very glad that you guys are still alive and well today, because this is, like I said, one of the first groups I started in. And I just wanted to share this resource with everyone. So tell us a little bit about how it's improved your business and how it's made you achieve your goals and practice success.
Well, just to talk more kudos where kudos is due, you were so great at the online referrals and being such a huge supporter. I know personally for me how you impacted my business. We would just have these coffee chats, but you would, blast my name all over social media. And people like you who started that with us and, set the bar, we still do that. So it's impacted my business in a monumental way. I don't know how much you want to get into detail about that. But I definitely got in tenfold what I put into it. And we still preach that every day to our every week to our members, that if you put in, you do your one-to-ones, you invest your time into these people, you will definitely get it back tenfold, and you're a great example of that.
Yeah, and I'll speak, too, to that. I feel like, different members will join TANG or a networking group for different reasons. I joined not because I necessarily needed to, boost my business or rely heavily on referrals, even though, of course, selfishly I'll take a referral when given. But, I wanted to do it for being that more community involvement effect. And again, seeing people thrive and grow. So really, whether you're just starting out as a young business, or some people in our group, they're still working a 9-to-5 job, and they're kind of doing something else on the outside as a side hustle. We've all been there before. And it's scary, but again, a group like TANG that you can kind of come in and within an hour's time know 30 to 40 brand new faces that you never knew before, I think is pretty powerful, right?
And 30 to 40 faces that have such a monumental network in their own right. Like, we
Definitely.
all have different connections, but the whole thing of TANG is to share that with other folks. You don't go to this room expecting to sell yourself or sell your business to just those 30 people in the room. The whole goal is to train them to sell for you, so you have this network so beyond yourself of these people. These people know thousands and thousands of people. You are expanded to that network as well.
Which is great, and we talked a little bit, I just went to the meeting, we had Visitors Day, it was amazing, so I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that people said when they were there. They had mentioned that TANG wasn't just a network for their business, but for their own personal self. I know Christine Thomas, she's been on the podcast, she's amazing. She talked about how when she's having a bad day, she likes to come to TANG. So these aren't just business relationships, they're personal too. And I think that's what really helps and it makes it grow.
For sure. So just Michael and I know just through the group we've become great friends. Our families are all great friends. My baby shower was hosted here. Jenny, another member, is going to name my children. I met her through the group. Like, it's just, it becomes family. We learn to support each other not only in business. It's, Jason Carr mentioned it the best. Networking and referrals become like an afterthought almost, or like a, what's the word that he used?
Oh, like, oh gosh.
A subsidiary,
Yes.
like after, but really it's the friendship and the connections that you make, and then business just comes because we want to help each other genuinely.
And if you kind of find yourself in any situation, obviously, it's about remembering, the people that you're surrounded by. So again, unsolicited, you'll find yourselves in situations, even just in regular conversations, hey, my dog is needing, some training, it's having some accidents or whatever. Who knows why it came up, but you're like, oh my gosh, please call, Jeff with the Canine Mentor, or I need somebody like this. And again, you just find yourselves wanting to refer these businesses, not because you have to, but because they're half friends and half, business associates, and I think that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I don't know how to decorate my house, but I know, and
Clearly.
I'm fabulous. No, clearly it's covered in cowhide. But I have a great design house friend who can, come in and things of that nature. You're like a walking Yellow Pages to the community.
Absolutely. And so speaking of community, you had some community events that you guys had started. Tell me about those community events.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, we actually decided to kick off one of the larger community events that Victoria touched on before, and that's our Autism Awareness event. There is a young man by the name of DJ Svoboda, and his mission is the Imagine Friend of Imagineville, and he is a local young man about my age, and is a beautiful motivational speaker, artist, and all-around good person. But he is a young man with autism and has faced several challenges throughout his life, and as a business organization like TANG, we decided we want to give back to the community. What better way to kind of partner with something or someone in an organization that has a great mission behind it. But we kind of took it even further than that, because I'm like, all right, we can partner with this great mission, but what is that going to do for the community? So we thought to reach out to the Clayton Firehouse, because they're a great resource and platform, and very long story short, through TANG and sponsorships, we were able to raise enough money to actually have t-shirts printed for all of the Clayton Fire Department to wear, with our business logos on the back, DJ's beautiful custom artwork as well. And basically they wore those all month to honor autism awareness, and it led up to a great event at the firehouse that we had with him in that day. And it's just about getting people involved, so much so that we actually went to Mayor McLeod, who is the mayor for Clayton. And for those years, he actually was able to proclaim April as National Autism Awareness Month, brought on by TANG Johnson County Chapter. And it's it's powerful.
The entire month of April, you saw his custom artwork all over the fire trucks, on those t-shirts. We probably wore them.
Yeah.
And it's so fun, so crazy to see his artwork, which is a business owner. It's a business owner that, as fellow business owners, we wanted to get behind someone diverse and someone with such a powerful mission. And you should have seen the pride in his DJ's eyes to see his artwork literally plastered on everything all month long.
It was a really cool and touching event just to kind of see the broadcast and the power that a quote small networking group had, because like I said, 30, 40 members, next thing you know, it's hundreds of people that are, you know, wearing these t-shirts and kind
Raising money.
Yeah, exactly.
For his cause.
Exactly. So we were pretty proud of that. And again, to kind of start something, you know, not because we
From nothing.
had to, but because we wanted to give back. That's just one way that we do.
And that's great. And you guys are doing an event that I've been to in the past, Night in Her Shoes. Tell us about that.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, so basically it's for Harbor House, which is a Clayton ran organization that helps victims of domestic violence, domestic assault, women, children find a safe place to go to. So everything that we pull in from the Night in Her Shoes event is October
24th, I believe.
24th, 6 to 8 at Deep River that evening, but all the proceeds go to that. So basically, we have a little fun spin because we like to be spicy here, shake things up in Clayton. But all men who wear heels to this event get in for free. We will have several cash generating things for the Harbor House, like auction, a silent auction, a 50-50 raffle. Is $10 pre-order, $15 at the door.
And men who wear high heels do get in for free.
Get in for free. First drink is also included, even if you get in for free or you buy a ticket. So several of our TANG members are sponsoring this event. Make sure it happens. We are accepting outside sponsors that are not members. So if you want any more information about that, we can definitely get it to you. But
and I promise for all the men out there who think, oh, I'm too manly and macho to wear heels, I promise you it is such a worthy cause. Nobody's going to judge you. Nobody's going to fake you. People will actually probably respect you more.
Yeah.
I hope.
We have a DJ. We have a really fun MC. So it's a really nice, I hate to call it a party, but it's business plus so much fun. And with such a good cause at the heart of it.
Most definitely. And then the only other event that I can think to touch on real quick that I'd like to is through my connection as a board member through the Chamber of Commerce. We partner up with an initiative that they do called STEP, S-T-E-P, and that stands for Student to Entrepreneurship Program. And what that is an initiative that they reach out to local high schools and take on a handful of juniors and seniors who have a knack for business, a want for entrepreneurship, and they partner them up with different business owners in the community. And it's just this beautiful thing to watch these young entrepreneurs really grow and thrive. But it leads up to a few months of them working with their mentors, and it leads up to a Shark Tank style pitch night that we actually just had last night. And to see these young souls come in, they're all nervous and scared and everything, but to see how far they are in their entrepreneurship career, it's really inspiring, because I think back to when I was like 16 and 17, I don't think I knew what the word entrepreneur was, much less could spell it.
Yeah, let's say you talk about, just a seasoned business owner. It can be terrifying to stand up in front of a room of professionals that you do not know and try to give your best self. But luckily, Tang is such a warm, inviting place that you know that if you fumble on your words, no one's going to shame you for it. But these kids did such a great job. We had one visit, our visitors day today. I'm not going to say her name, but she might have skipped class to be a part of us. But she's also a young business in Clayton. And, but yeah, it's just a warm place that you can grow not only professionally, but like professional development, like doing a 30-second in front of a room full of professionals.
Most definitely.
I was going to say, when I first started, I didn't have my 30-second even close to what it needed to be, but due to the guidance of you guys and the entire group, I kind of got it down pat to where I needed it to be, which now it sounds a lot better than it used to, 4 years ago.
You're famous for your raps that you would come up with every week, and I genuinely miss those.
I know. And for those of you out there who think, oh, I could talk for 30 seconds, try talking for 30 seconds, even about a subject you know, and you will see very quickly how difficult it actually is.
To cover like your 5 top concern points that you want to make sure you get to a room of strangers.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's more difficult than it sounds.
Absolutely, and that's what I love about Clayton. We talk a lot about how it is a community and it is supporting and uplifting each other. It's something that I've noticed. I'm not from here, obviously, and when I moved here initially, I'm like, cool, I'll join a networking group. I had no idea that it would literally change my life. So
Yeah,
I want to thank
definitely.
you guys for that 100%.
Thank you.
So we're doing so much better now that we have the knowledge, the power,
We're
the
not doing so
support.
much better, you're killing it.
Right,
You're
exactly.
absolutely killing it. Let's
And
not be humble.
not only, I want to piggyback on that for just a second, because I have said this so many times before, whether it's in Tang, we were actually, one thing I wanted to point out, not selfishly of course, but we were the recipient of the Downtown Business Award of the Year. And one thing I said during my quote acceptance speech was being from Long Island, New York City, big city metro, right? I can promise you this small town charm does not happen, right? I never knew what a Chamber of Commerce was. I never knew what networking was. I never knew what the entrepreneurial bug would be until moving to downtown Clayton. And I think it's really wonderful to be a part of that and something so much more than just a business. But I tell people all the time when they move from out of state, especially in these larger metro areas, I can promise you this does not happen anywhere else. I promise.
Yeah, from just going back to you get what you put into it, 100%. It's funny because I'm now postpartum with my second child and last child. But, starting the group when I was 6 months postpartum with my first, I felt so out of place. I didn't know anybody here. I'm from, an hour away, which doesn't seem that far, but literally no connections here. And from what this network has been able to do for me, I'm not going to go into detail, but I was chosen to move my business to Raleigh, and my network came with me because of what I was able to achieve on paper with my firm, that I was able to take that opportunity. And that's why even as busy as we get now, 4 weeks postpartum with my second, I'm still, consistently going to my Tang group because I know the value that it holds.
There's definitely power in numbers, and that's what Tang is really about.
Absolutely. So can you go over and tell people exactly, so it's seat exclusive, how would one join?
Okay, so if you would like or to learn more information about us, I would definitely recommend that you go to our Tang Johnston County Facebook page. That's where a lot of our information is. You see when we have events and things of that nature. But if you would like to attend us, you can definitely come every Tuesday, 8 a.m. is 8 to 9:30. If you have questions about if the seat is open, you can definitely message that page and we will definitely follow back up with you. But if you would like to join us, you visit the first time, you love it, visit 3 consecutive times, so 3 consecutive Tuesdays, and then a wonderful lady named Lori Denham will send you an application and then we vote on it at our next board meeting. But yeah, being seat exclusive, that means one person per profession, and so that way we only have one interior designer, we only have one financial advisor, so that way it's a safe space, you're not competing every Tuesday, it's just one of you in the room.
Absolutely. And your brand is so amazing that, isn't there another one in Fuquay?
Yes, so Nikki Crow, which I know you're good friends with, she was a good friend of mine, the only one that we have encouraged her starting her own chapter in Fuquay, but they've done such a great job. We are not trying to expand any further, just because one thing about Tang versus any other national group is that no one monetizes from us. That's why our annual dues are so inexpensive. They're only $100 a year because that just pays our rent and like a few other expenses that we have. So since no one's monetizing ever, we're not really trying to expand in other areas. But yes, that group is phenomenal, and if we don't have an open seat, we definitely can encourage someone to get with Nikki about that.
Definitely.
Yes, and the Home Inspector team is actually sponsored this podcast, and because of Tang, that's how I met them.
Yeah.
And they made the joke that they don't have meetings, they have meet tangs.
Meet
Ooh, I like
And
that.
I was like, that's so
Fun.
funny. So they don't do one-on-ones, they do meet tangs. And I was like, that's cute.
That is
Well,
very
we
cute.
have the hashtag Tang Gang, and because if you see someone commenting, oh, I want an interior designer, we are literally like a gang on that referral post, and all of us are, tagging our infamous friend over here, Michael Strauss with the Design House. So we are literally like a gang for each other.
That's
a little
right.
scary, but it's warmer than that.
We gotta look out for each other.
It's true, because I'll see it on there and it'll be like 10 people saying this person, this person,
Yeah.
this person, and they also leave a little bit of their experience with it. So you're not just saying, hey, I'm in this networking group, I know this person. You're saying, I know them personally, and they're a good person, and this is why you should choose them. And that's
Right.
really important when you're building your network and your business.
Agreed, and
Correct.
even if you've never used that person or their business, let's say, you can at least attest to their character as a person, as a business owner, because I will never mislead anybody on being like, oh, call this person because I've used them 100 times before. I will never do that, and I would encourage anybody to, but again, I can still speak to the character of that person as a business owner, and that also holds value as well.
Or someone that's also used them,
Exactly.
and you can speak to that.
Exactly.
I mean, as a financial advisor, there's a bazillion and two of me, but going in there and you seeing so many people that have used me or personally know me, I mean, I know you can speak to that too.
Okay.
There is power in those numbers, and that's exactly how we get business from that.
And that's
Standing out.
amazing. I love that. The community thing. Like I said, I grew up in an area that wasn't very community based, and now I'm here and I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm home. I'm part of something, and it's
Yeah.
different than anything I've ever felt before. So
Everyone knows Dustin.
And if you don't, you should.
Yeah.
that's true. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for meeting with me today. If you'd like to look at the camera and shout out your businesses, we'll tag you on Facebook and all of the podcasts.
Ladies first.
Victoria Johnston, financial advisor, CFP with Edward Jones.
And I'm Michael Strauss, principal designer and owner of the Design House, where we will turn your home from
Jab to fab.
And that is what is in the background today, guys. So come on down to the showroom and check it out. Well, thank you very much for meeting with me. I cannot wait to post this so everyone else can learn more about Tang. And I look forward to seeing you in the future.
Thanks so much for
Thanks for
having
having us.
Dustin.
Yeah.
Thank you.